What's going on, everyone? So, unfortunately, no breaks today for the Los Angeles Lakers. Both the New Orleans Pelicans and the Phoenix Suns both ended up winning. The Pelicans, I've already said this before, I just don't see the Lakers catching the Pelicans. The Pelicans might actually catch the Clippers for the 4 seed, which is pretty interesting. Zion's been playing like out of his mind. It's just so much ground to cover for the Lakers. Yes, currently the Lakers have the tiebreaker. They do play the Pelicans last game of the season, but ultimately, with 15 games left, it's going to be really difficult for the Lakers to really kind of stretch and get 4.5 games ahead of the New Orleans Pelicans, and them losing that many games. It's tough with so few games left. But the Lakers are back in action tomorrow. We got to bounce back from the loss against the Sacramento Kings. Depending on when you're watching this, because I'm posting this video pretty late, so it's very possible that you may be watching this today and the Warriors play today, right? So hopefully, again, whenever you're watching this, the Lakers actually pull this off. Right now, you both, Steph Curry and Draymond Green, are both questionable for tomorrow's game. I'm sure we'll get more information, more details as the day develops there. That will be kind of interesting, right? Because look, the Lakers need all the breaks that they can get. Steph Curry was supposed to be back for this game, but do the Warriors just kind of look at it as like, we're probably going to be the 10th seed regardless, so let's just make sure everyone's healthy so we can go try to make a push and win 2 straight games to get into the postseason? That could be a possibility, and it's not that like illogical. Right? It's kind of like, like Steph could come back. We could still lose to the Lakers. Now we're 2 games ahead. You run the risk of Steph ending up getting hurt, right? Like, what are we climbing for? We're climbing to maybe overtake the Lakers for the 9th seed. It would be really hard for them to get into that 7th and 8th seed. It's not impossible by any stretch, but it's just they are a full game behind the Lakers, and the Lakers are 3 games behind everyone else. So when you look at the breakdown in the standings, right, the Warriors are 1 full game back of the Lakers. So if the Warriors win this game, then they actually would leapfrog the Lakers. If the Lakers win this game, then that gives them 2 full games over the Warriors, and they'd have the tiebreakers, which is good going forward. Another match, we'll see. But as far as the Lakers go, Lakers are 2 games back of the Dallas Mavericks, 3 games back of the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns. Here's the problem with the Sacramento Kings, is you are actually 4 games back of Sacramento, because if you and Sacramento finish with the same record, guess what? Sacramento swept us, so they have the tiebreaker. The likelihood of us getting the 6th seed is going to be very, very tough. More likely than not, we're probably looking at the 7th and 8th seed, right? Overtaking one of Phoenix, who, again, they won today. They are coming off of a loss the previous day, but they had back-to-back against the Charlotte Hornets. Of course, they ran through the Hornets as they should, but they still have the toughest schedule the rest of the way. So, a couple dominoes fall in your favor. Maybe you leapfrog them. Imagine a Warriors-Suns first play-in game. That'd be pretty crazy. And then Dallas has kind of been hot and cold, right? Luka didn't play in the most previous game, but like they'll win like 3 or 4 games in a row, and then they'll like lose 3 or 4 games in a row. They're kind of just like flip-floppy back and forth. Part of that has been Kyrie out. Part of that's been Luka out. But regardless, you just kind of hope that they kind of regress a little bit, and you can make up those 2 games. But again, even with Dallas, it's 3 games because Dallas has the tiebreaker. This is why when the Lakers don't do what they're supposed to do, it makes things that much harder. Because if you had the tiebreaker, then you're only 2 games behind Dallas, right? And 3 games behind Sacramento. But guess what? You don't have the tiebreaker, so guess what ends up happening? You will not be able to overtake them if you finish with the same record. Phoenix, Lakers, that should be good, right? But, again, can Phoenix lose enough games? It's just the further we get along in the season, and as we kind of draw near the finish line, the more and more it's looking like the Lakers end up finishing as that like 6th, 7th spot. Hopefully, that 7th, 8th spot. Hopefully they get into the 6th spot, but realistically, you're asking for so much. You're asking for basically 3 teams to lose 4 more games than you do, right? Because again, like, yeah, 3 games back of Sacramento, 2 games back of Dallas, but like, you need them to lose an extra game. So it's so complicated and convoluted because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. If the Lakers took it serious, they could be in the conversation. I think that they should, bare minimum this year, be where the Pelicans are. I think they're better than the Pelicans, right? But the Pelicans have taken this season seriously, right? They've been showing up when they need to show up. They've been winning games, not name the Lakers, when they need to win those games. And so Pelicans have done their job and are in the position that they're in because of that. The Lakers didn't do their job, so guess what? They're in the position that they're in because of that. Luckily for the Lakers have a very favorable schedule the rest of the way. Like, they could go 12-3 the rest of the way. I mean, it's not unfathomable for them to go 15-0 if you just looked at the schedule. But then you take a second and you go, oh, this Lakers team is the 2024 Lakers, who are incredibly inconsistent, just are hot and cold game by game. So they're probably not going to win 12 games to 15 games the rest of the way, which that is incredibly frustrating, right? You have a ton of favorable matchups going forward on top of the favorable matchups going forward, right? A lot of those teams are not going to have some of their best players, right? The Lakers might luck out tomorrow against Golden State and have no Steph Curry, no Draymond Green. We'll see. Again, don't get your hopes up, right? It's the Lakers, and you know the deal, you know the drill. Every time there's injuries, every time something happens, guess what? That person magically heals. Like, he lost his leg, it fell off. Don't worry, a new one grew back because they're playing the Lakers. It's just the craziest thing ever. But it would be nice if we didn't have to worry about Steph and Draymond. Right, Draymond obviously for defense purposes. Also, he's shooting the 3 ball excellent this season. So can't sag off of him as much as like we have in previous years. And then as far as like Steph goes, I mean, he's Steph Curry, right? Like, the Warriors are a very good team when Steph Curry plays. As good as the Lakers are, right? But they're better with Steph than without Steph, right? I think they're only like 1-5 without Steph Curry this season, something like that. So, like, it's the Warriors could use Steph if they're trying to make a push for seeding. Again, they may just concede it and just say, hey, do we really want to bring Steph back, run the risk of him getting hurt, and then we have 0 shot? Or do we want to make sure Draymond's healthy, make sure Steph's healthy? It's your 2 biggest components. Those 2 guys are healthy. You have a real chance of winning 2 straight games and getting to the playoffs. And then playing whoever that is, you have a puncher's chance in that matchup. So, to me, I wouldn't be shocked if the Warriors are like, you know what, let's just sit Steph, pack it in, call it a season, and get into this play-in and see what ends up happening, which would benefit the Lakers, right? Play teams like Atlanta. They're not going to have Trae Young. You're playing the Philadelphia 76ers. They're not going to have Joel Embiid, right? Joel Embiid might not be back till like a week before the season's over. So you keep, as you go through the standings, kind of break it down, and you look at it and you're like, oh, wow, like the Lakers, like outside of Milwaukee, Cleveland, Minnesota, the Lakers could win all the other games. And even those games, the Lakers should probably win. Right? Minnesota, 2 things. One, if they don't have a Karl Anthony Towns, that benefits the Lakers, right? But also, if they're basically locked into the 3 seed or the 4 seed or whatever, then it is very possible that they just kind of say, hey, let's get healthy and get into the playoffs, right? Like, we're going to have a first-round matchup against, the Clippers or whatever, and then, we end up beating them. Now we got to go play Denver, so let's be healthy because we're going to have a tough road ahead. That could be a real possibility. The Cavs, same thing. Like, if they have the 3 seed locked up, and they, Milwaukee creates separation, or vice versa. Say the Cavs create some separation. Although, Mitchell and everything going on with him, you could see Cleveland just say, hey, you know what, let's pack it in, let's get ready, let's get healthy going into the playoffs. Because again, these are like the last 2-3 games of the season for all these teams. So that's usually when you see guys kind of sitting and resting. So my point is the Lakers have a very favorable schedule the rest of the way, but they're reliant on these other teams. Now, I do believe in it to an extent they control their own destiny because you can't control these other teams winning or losing, but you can control you winning, right? If you win 12 games out of your next 15, then I actually think the Lakers might be the 6th seed. Because talking 48 wins, that's a lot of wins, right? You look at the last few seasons, the 7th and 8th seed has basically been 45 to 47. So yeah, you have a real chance. Like the probability of them getting the 6th seed with 48 wins is very high. Again, based on how like the East is matched up with the West and all that stuff, we'll see. It's going to be tough. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What did you think of today? Lakers getting no breaks. It was a bummer. What do you think of the Lakers going forward? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you hope Steph and Draymond don't play? That would be really nice. Who do you think we end up catching? Again, all these things I'd love to hear. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. That's when you enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.